Hey, Outliers. Andrew Frazier has coached over 1,000 business owners across 17 years. He's a naval officer, an MIT engineer, and the creator of the Masterpreneur Growth Framework. And he wants to do for small businesses what the credit score did for banking, become the standard the whole system runs on. But he already has the plan, the proof, and the framework. So, what's between him and that legacy was never more clarity. It was the nerve to get fully out of his own way. So, what does it take to turn a proven method into a movement bigger than its maker? Let's get into the room and find out. Hello there, Outliers. Niiamah Shang here, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of your journey. Today, we get to spend time with Andrew Frazier. And Andrew is someone who is not just on a mission, but is on a place of exponential change and impact. And so I'm really glad that we get a chance to spend time with someone who is right at that next edge and co-create with them in real time. Andrew, thank you for making time for this conversation. Thanks for showing up in a way thank you for showing up in your outlier way.
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate the opportunity and really excited to talk about my favorite topic, and that's helping entrepreneurs and small business owners be more successful.
All right, well, let's talk about it for a bit. We'll give a couple of minutes up front so the outliers get a chance to see like how you show up in the world. So would you mind letting us know more about you and the outlier game that you're currently playing?
Okay, well, I mean, at the end of the day, a business owner, you know, the biggest challenge they have is there's so many things they need to know that they can't know them all. And also their business can only go as far as they're prepared to lead it. And as a result, many business owners get stuck. But what I created over the past 17 years, I've worked one-on-one with over 1,000 business owners and taught tens of thousands of people about business. And what I created was the Masterpreneur Growth Framework to help small businesses be able to go through the 5 steps from startup to scaling. It comes out of my methodology of working with businesses, but it also comes out of my experience having several businesses, my experience, as a naval officer, as a corporate executive, and my first business was in 4th grade at paper route. And what I've done is created the framework, but not only the framework, the tools to implement the framework. So, we're poised to really re-engineer small business growth, and meaning really have a whole different framework and ability to help small businesses at scale in a more effective way. And my goal right now is to really take what I've done and really build it and share it on a large scale. So I'm excited about talking to you today about that, strategies to do that. It's my first time doing this. And, even though I've worked with a lot of businesses, I don't know everything either. So I'm glad I get a chance to talk to you and learn from you as well.
Yeah, definitely, Andrew. I think that like part of the reason I like to do this format is just to keep opening up the what becomes possible, right?
Yeah.
And to create. I know that like you've done the work, from yeah, you've done the work. You're the real deal on this here. And so I'm excited to see hey, as we're going into the next level of scale for you, let's go ahead and play from that, right? We'll talk some strategies, but I'm going to go even deeper than that. You gave me a little clue as to where we play with you in this conversation already. People don't realize, but I'm learning about you and how you choose to show up to this question. Andrew, let me make sure here. I'm going to give space to the growth here for any outlier who is a small business owner who hears something that in this conversation where they're like Andrew, while he's figuring that out, I know he's figured out the things that I need right now. Like, what's the best way for them to go deeper down the journey with you?
I mean, definitely. I created the Small Business Pro University, and we have a lot of brain trust initiatives to help entrepreneurs and business owners be more successful. So check us out on our website. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I love connecting on LinkedIn. We do a lot of great content. And, come on our website if you want to schedule a little time to chat. Be glad to do that as well.
So outliers, we have our charge, right? Let's go make this happen. Andrew, for the rest of the conversation, we're gonna put outliers over to the side, right? Let's have
Mhm.
like you're really up to something important. I want to make sure that we get to that. And as I say here, like if we can decide at the end of this if we want this to go live or not. But like I just really want to make sure that you are really being served because I get that I get the impact of helping you out, right? So let's play. All right. So Andrew, like the premise here was a life-changing conversation. I know you spent a lot of time thinking about this here. What would make this a life-changing conversation for you?
I think, at the end of the day, um, being clear about the path to achieving my goal of really doing for small business owners and small business growth what the credit score does for banks.
Okay.
So I think a life changing is helping me clarify the path, giving me some new ideas and new strategies and insights, and and just learning from you how to communicate it more
Yeah.
effectively. I think that's a big piece because a lot of people have a lot of things,
Hmm.
and a lot of people have things that sound good,
Hmm.
but when I'm bringing the table, there's nothing like it.
Yep.
But I got to be able to help people, make sure people understand that in a
Mhm.
short time frame.
All right, cool. So let's play a little bit here. The credit score for banks, by the way, just I'll reflect that back to you. I was like, that hit something special for me along the way, and so like I got really curious about like what that would be, but it felt like it's in a different paradigm than like I want more people to like go through my program. You know what I'm saying? So like that helps me get some sense here. You said being clear about the path. And for some reason, when you said that, Andrew, it like I realized that like I didn't light up in that, right? And I think the reason why it's like it felt like it was like going to activate a lot of the like the brain and the thinking power here. You even said like ideas and strategies and all that, and like just being in space with you, I'm like you're a really intelligent person, like, and you've done this with thousands of people, like you've seen things here. So something tells me that if we're gonna have new insights, it's not going to be because the brain worked harder, you know. We're gonna have to look in different places on it. So when you said being clearer, my first thing was like, I bet you Andrew's clear enough in terms of all the strategies out there, the things that he's seen, the ways he's helped small business. I bet you there's clarity that this person has. But what the question came to me is I'm like, but is he courageous right now? So if this wasn't about being clearer about the path to take, but actually being more courageous toward the path you know that you want to be taken, what would change in this conversation? Tell me about that.
I think that talking about implementation,
Hmm.
I think that being more courageous is, looking at um, really going bigger
Hmm.
than I may have currently have plans for, and definitely marketing and becoming more of an influencer on a larger scale than um, than I am now, and that I may be comfortable with.
Hmm. Do you want to be an influencer? Let me just check in on that. Is that or is that just what you think is necessary?
I think on a certain level, that's going to be necessary.
Okay.
Um, at least the influencer within a different space than I'm in now, so
Mhm.
that the right people,
Mhm.
um, because what I'm doing is instead of me working with business owners one on one and
Mhm.
really helping them grow using the framework,
Mhm.
uh, my vision and my plan is to engage with advisors who help business owners
Okay.
and have them get certified as a
Okay.
masterpreneur growth architect
Okay.
and use my masterpreneur growth assessment and other tools to help business owners. So I think that's the first step,
Mhm.
because that is a step that can be implemented and acted on quickly.
Nice.
Um,
Okay.
the second step is institutions. And because I think that's how you become, you know, the framework. And so working on institutions that, one, help business owners, but even more than that, fund organizations that help business owners. Because right now, one of their challenges is they're investing millions of dollars in different organizations that help entrepreneurs and business owners, but they're not getting the impact. And what I've created will help them get a greater impact, faster, cheaper, and easier. So once they understand how that could work for them, but not only that, the framework gives them consistent reporting. So like the credit score, the banks kind of know where you are because there's consistency across how they're measuring. But where the entrepreneurship programs, all of them have different data that isn't consistent. So, providing something that allows you to do that's proven, and also that gives it a chance to measure progress. So the assessment, it's not just, we did something today, but 6 months later, you can see, because we have a masterpreneur score out of 100. So 6 months later, you can see how you improve the score and have report. And then 6 months later, so you can see the impact and also get a feel for, data, the cross section of where small businesses are and what they need, because many times the business owner doesn't know what they need. And many times the organizations just offer a one-size-fits-all solution. And what my framework, assessment, and other things do is allows you to quickly and easily assess where a business is, what it needs, and how to help it move forward and focus on the right things.
All right, Andrew. Thank you for this. Right. I'm going to go back to my question about courage in just a bit.
Okay.
Right. But what I get about you, and this is also like, I'm like on the thinking, like both on the thinking, on the product, on like you're so solid. The answers is not like, how do you articulate what you just said better? How do we help people understand? Like, I think that like you're looking in like the wrong direction, because it's like, you have thousands of people who've done it. You have all this, like, you have the reporting consistently. Like, we can find some kind of like process around it all, but like, I'm listening to you and I'm like, this is not where the edge is, this is not the edge, like where the edge is. Like, we can polish it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't think that this is going to be the thing that like takes you to stratosphere on this. This is not the thing that where like, people, I have a colleague who was, uh, director of marketing for Harley Davidson, and like they tattoo like the logo on their arm. Like when I read your responses, when I heard the level like that you're going at, like I was like, oh, it's something like that. Where it could really be that ubiquitous. Like the people who are in it, it is widespread, and they see it as the standard, and they live into it. So if you're cool with it, I think it's good to know what it is and what it's going to be doing, but I don't think knowing that more is the
Mm-hmm.
path to what it is that you're trying to get to. Let me check in with you. How does that sound to you?
Okay. No, I mean, I think that's fair.
Mhm.
Um, and definitely, let's go in that direction.
All right, cool. So we started out with courage, right? And then we went down to the path that you knew, right? So let's go back to courage, right? Like, what's
Mm-hmm.
the courageous thing right now that like if and you have to kind of guide me on this here. And maybe the word courage may not be it. So if you're like, I'm plenty courageous, it's not that I'm courageous. It's vulnerable. It's this whatever it is. Like you let me know what it is. But like, I'm gonna stick with courage for now. Like, what's the courageous action that like if you took, you're like, if I just did this one thing, honestly, everything else falls into place. What would that be?
I mean, I think one of the biggest things is connecting with the right people
Yeah.
who can understand the value of it
Yeah.
and can help, and can make a decision
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
I think that um, once you do that,
Yeah.
um, there's a lot of value,
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Question
the.
for you, because you've said this a couple different times. Understand, understand, understand. Like, do you feel like this is difficult to understand?
Well, I think that there's a million people out there who say they have an assessment, which
Okay.
is really a quiz that they're trying to get you to give an answer so they can sell you what they have.
Okay.
Um, and the level of what it is and the rigor that's behind it, and the ability to um, create
Hmm.
and impact.
Hmm.
Um, so I think that I haven't. I'm not. I don't feel that I am communicating it in a
Mm.
way that is clear enough and concise enough, um, that people really understand the value of it to them. And maybe it's because I'm too close to it.
Yeah.
So you know too much, and you want to say you don't want to explain it, but how do I do it to really um, have the people who will benefit the most from it
Yeah.
understand that this is an amazing opportunity and tool.
So like I'm hearing what you're saying, and so the things that are going through my mind right now are like a couple things, right?
Okay.
Um, like I'm thinking to myself right now, if I was like in need of like a medical emergency, right?
Right.
I do not need to understand like what you're doing with my heart or how you're setting my thing there. Like none of that is needed for me. It just doesn't get me what I need to get to. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If I went into that room and I'm like, I'm bleeding out, this, that, and the other, and the doctor's in there trying to help me understand what's happened, I'm like, fix it, you know? So there's a part of me that's wondering, like, are you going to the people like we that are like in like deep need? Are you going to the people right now who like, this is like this would be it'd be nice, it'd be cool to kind of test out and so on and so forth. And so that first part for me goes down to like, who are the people, Andrew, that you would be like that are like hungering for something like this right now? Let me check in. Like what do you know about them? Who are the kinds of people that like this would be really important for?
Well, I think first of all, business consultants and advisors,
Hmm.
because you know it's very difficult to run a coaching consulting practice,
Hmm.
and business development is important. So having a certification, um, boosts your credibility. Having a framework that's proven boosts your ability to make an impact for your clients, and access to other experts and resources and tools allows you to um, build your business. So I think that that audience,
Hmm.
many of them will see it immediately.
Hmm.
So that's why we're starting there.
Hmm.
um, but I think the institutions is the real
Yeah.
opportunity,
Yeah.
uh, but it's a longer lead time.
Interesting.
um, you
Interesting.
know so um, so with
Look,
the oh, good.
no, no, no. I'm gonna play with this here, like, because like as you're talking about like everything about like the certifications and the assessments part, right? Like when
Mm-hmm.
I hear that, like that one feels like I forget what kind of ocean it is, but it's like that feels like that's where like people play. They're like, come get like my certification on this. I'm gonna make you like a master certified this year, and like my mind like immediately went into like what's in it for them, what's the offer for them, like how easy do you make it so that they get like they're probably like I want to make more money, I want to work with more clients, and I like and that's it. Like I want better leads and all this stuff here. Like, so how's this going to make me more money? And the offer pretty much sits in that space there. And it could be about how good it is, but it could also just be about like how good it works or how like easy it sells or whatever it is, right? That part feels relatively straightforward like overall, it's a different type of license and experience or opportunity. I'm not like not to like put it into a specific category. I'm not using like the like the technical terms of whether it's a license or like it's not that. But like I like that experience feels like okay, like we get that. Like we like we'll have it. Like I the institutions thing, the credit score thing feels like a totally different ballgame. Like that feels like like I can't get a house. I can't do like it is integrated into my life. I have to do things and I have to make choices in my life right now about things I want, things that like things like when I can get it, so on and so forth. And I'm thinking about those numbers, you know?
Right.
And so like so there's a part of me that's like I feel like the if it's good with you, I think we focus on the institution part because like there's many playbooks I think on like on the certification side of things.
Yes.
You probably taught some like with them yourself. So like I think the game here is to play on the institution part, and it almost feels like if we get the institution part down, then like the demand from other people would also go up because like uh there's a how do I say it? It creates its own ecosystem in and of itself. Are you down to play that way, or would you rather go down the certification route here? I feel like if I'm thinking about what would be higher leverage for you in this conversation, I'm wondering if it's more playing with institutions or not.
Yeah. I feel more comfortable in the strategy for the advisors. I've already
Yeah.
started down that path. I already have advisors who are interested.
Yeah.
The institutions is a little bit harder nut to crack
Yeah.
for a number of reasons.
Hmm.
Um, but I've been one I've been talking to organizations that run programs for entrepreneurs and business owners, but many of them they have their own process, their own methodologies. So they're not really open to someone else's, even if it's better, unless, so that's been an interesting thing. So I've been focused working on, um, you know, earlier stage organizations that may not have a framework, their own framework, and working with organizations that are looking to revamp their program so that it gives them a tool that can save them money, that can help them have a greater impact faster and easier. So I think, I got to find people who, have the need and have to, need to act on it on a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Real quick, like what if you're watching it here, like a something just landed on your head, like a fly just landed on your head, right? I like these kind of things to like to play in. If there was anything you're gonna say, if there was any message that like the universe was trying to tell you in that one moment there, what do you think that message might be?
Um, I guess fly's really small and I'm really big, so don't be afraid to go after the giants.
If you're a leader with a track record of success and there's a vision you're ready to bring to life that feels outrageous right now, I have an invitation for you. Outlier's Edge is a world for different minded, like hearted leaders who are owning what makes them different to make a world of difference. And at the center of that world is a weekly coaching room where we bring the visions that just won't leave us alone. We get coached, stay accountable, and build alongside others, creating something different. If you're pursuing something that's too big, too early, or too improbable for most rooms, this is your room. Go to outliersedge.com/world and come in as my guest. All right. I think that is as good as anything from a completely random experience right there, right? But
Right.
there's a lot of like there's good energy, man. Like so, I'll say this, Andrew, you set me up both with
Mhm.
your responses beforehand and when you said like the way that people do credit scores right now, right?
Mhm.
You set me up that way, and so like it's really the prop that like you got to recalibrate me, right?
Mhm.
But like I'm going to keep thinking of you on that level first, right? And anything that sounds like a traditional, like, a traditional play, I'm like, Okay, well then go do the traditional play. But like those people do not have the credit scores of business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so have you ever looked into how the credit score came to be?
Um, no, but I have a fairly good idea, I think.
Okay, all right. Like, I don't know if I need you to share it or not. Like, because like as you're talking, if you see me looking down, I'm taking notes or I'm looking into different things that you're saying. So like that's what's happening. I'm here. I literally typed into AI. I was like, so like, how did the credit card how did the credit score start out? Right. I'm not going to read the like what took place in there, but like I invite you to go look at that, right? Because
Mhm.
like if you're looking to do that, there's already clues in like how have things already gotten into institutions. It like started out with a company just like yours, and they had something and they kept going. Regulation came into the mix, and so like when there was the opportunity for regulation to come in, like this, they already had the standard, they were able to sell it in that way. So like I'm looking at this and saying, as you're going into the institutions, you're looking at these things like where are the levers that have elevated like these kind of proven frameworks to higher levels. And it may be in a specific industry to start out with, or it might be somewhere else there. But how can we leverage some of the pathways that are already there versus what it feels like? Like I'm trying to think about like what's the top down approach versus the bottom up. It kind of feels like right now we're in bottom up approach. Like how do we get to each individual person and then like kind of go from there? I'm like, is there what's the thing that governs the institutions? What's the things that
Right.
what's the institutions influencers such that like what's the level above that that makes us all fall to play? Let's play it.
So one is the foundations that fund entrepreneurs and business owners. So,
Okay.
the top one is the Kauffman Foundation, but
Yeah.
there's many others. But for them, it would be super valuable.
Yep.
Um, just have to find the right person with
Okay.
them. I have a lot of
Okay.
relationships with a lot of organizations, but not that organization.
Can we
So,
can we slow down with this one real quick and then go to other examples? Because sometimes it's helpful to just like play it out, right?
right.
The question that I would have is like when the Kaufman organization is looking for solutions to their problems, who do they
Mhm.
go to? Who do they look to? What are the influencers that they look to? What are the conferences that they go to? What are the people that they partner with? Like what is the level that influences that level of organization?
That's a great question. I would say partially universities,
Okay.
um, probably the government institutions.
Okay.
Um,
And I don't need you to know the answer right now,
right,
but
right. The pot.
this write this one down. Like go look into this here because I still feel like you're trying to like you're coming in from the bottom. You're trying to come in at the side. I'm like, but what if you just did like an aerial drop? Have you thought like have you found that way? You know?
Um, definitely working on networking to
Okay.
be able to get in there.
Okay.
But I haven't thought about it as much from that level
Yeah.
because maybe even what I need to do is meet the people who run those organizations
Oh,
rather than the people who work within the organization.
yeah.
Um, because you know they have a purview of the strategy and are really clear on how they could be better
Yeah.
and understand have an understanding that they're investing a lot of money and really the needle hasn't moved
Yep.
very much in many years
Yep.
on small business success.
Yep.
um, so this is a proven way to potentially be able to make a big change there.
Yeah. Like there's something about this I like again, I apologize, but I'm not apologizing. Like you should like you grip me with the like with how compelling of a goal you had. And so what's happening for me is I'm like, we cannot solve like high level problems at like from the low level and hope it trickles its way up. Like
Mhm.
let's just go to it. Let's go to it. Like so like as we're talking, I'm thinking like municipalities that have like small business loans, and small business programs. I'm like, how do we get like are we having conversations at that point there so that they have like additional support for programs that are already going in? Like and it's I just want to make sure we're playing at the level of the impact that you're seeing. Like you're going for like it feels like you're going for a systemic change, because you can be like, you're like, there's a bunch of different assessments, but I want to be the assessment, or maybe I can share it with like two other people. I think there's like three different credit scores out there that like that people use,
Right.
but like we're like, I want one of those spots. That's what I feel like I'm hearing from you, rather than like I'm looking to go from 1,000 to 10,000, maybe even to like 100,000. You're like, no, no, no. Like small businesses everywhere should have and the institutions that help them be successful should have access to this like consistent reporting, should be having access to these tools, to the frameworks, so on and so forth. And let's get embedded inside of that. Like, let me pause. Let me check in with you here. Like, what's going on? What are you experiencing? What are you thinking? You might be like, this guy's just thinking like he doesn't get it. Like, that's fine too. But I want to check in with you.
No, I mean, I agree. Um, there's some networking involved.
Yeah.
Um, I was recently at there's an organization called AEO,
Hmm.
or American um, Enterprise Opportunities,
Okay.
but they actually are an organization that focuses on small business from the standpoint of being an umbrella organization for organizations that help entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Cool.
So I was at their conference about a month ago and
Hmm.
met people from different organizations.
Hmm.
Uh, I think, but I need to be able to and work on probably getting on the stage at
Okay.
some events like that, so
Yeah.
that um, I can share it with the right people,
Yeah.
and have enough time to share it in a full way,
Hmm.
and also have the credibility behind um, being a speaker at the event.
Yep.
So I think that that's key. Um,
Hmm.
you know, and I'm in the process of writing a research report that we're going to release from our university,
Nice.
so that we can share that on a wider scale,
Yes.
and be in the research conversation,
Yes. Yes.
because it is a framework, um, and a lot of the people who um, have a say in this are academics.
Yep.
So being able to bring a level of research and insight into it, because I have contrarian views to many of the experts on what businesses need.
Yeah. Spoken like a true outlier. I like that. I
So,
like that. Yeah.
you
we don't get
know,
we don't get there following the paths of other people on there. No, no. Yeah.
right.
So like when I hear you say this, something in me lights up, right? And the
Mhm.
thing that lights up in here is um I feel like there's a level of like, all right, let's go attack like this problem. Let's go create this possibility at the level in which it wants to be, like it would actually be like useful for people. There's something that's been playing out for me from the beginning, and it goes back to that level of understanding component. And my question, Andrew, is like, what can you do to demonstrate? Right. So if we can get out of like right now, I feel like we're trying to use the power of words,
Mhm.
to be able to convey how important this might be. And in my mind, I'm thinking about I'm like, I wonder what would happen if he had like one or two. He's have thousands of people he's worked with, like one or two like incredible case studies, you know, like working for so that instead of having to try and explain what this thing can do, you're able to come at it with the same level of confidence that you have with like not even just confidence. You have the confidence is there, so I don't want to take that away, but the same level of uh I'm gonna say credibility, but in my mind, I'm saying oomph, of like, hey, like this has already helped thousands. Like this is what this organization was doing. This is where they were struggling. This is why they brought us in, so on and so forth. And this is how, like, this framework and the tool that we have that we put together around it actually help lift all those things. So in my mind, I'm like, how do we get like what would it change? What would change for you if the objective went from helping them get understanding from like a verbal perspective, but actually just like helping them use that to get results so that they can be so the understanding would be like so clear. They're like, "Oh, obviously this works."
Well, I mean, I think that um, definitely that's something I'm working on.
Okay.
Um, there's an entrepreneurship institute at a university here in New Jersey
Yeah.
that I've been coaching and training for.
Yeah.
Um, they're revamping their program, and I
Nice.
talked to the program manager about utilizing our assessment in their intake process.
Yes.
So,
Great.
setting up pilots
Yeah.
with credible organizations, I think is helpful.
Yes.
I have amazing testimonials from people I've worked with,
Hmm.
you know, but it's not directly um, focused on the framework. I use the framework with them, but
Yep.
they probably didn't know it was the framework.
Yeah, and like, and if I'm getting you, like your customers are different, right? Because like the one-on-one, your customers were the small business units, like like themselves, the small businesses themselves. Whereas this is like, and let me know if I'm getting this wrong, but like my thing is like this is to help an institution or an organization whose job it is or whose promise that they have to help like small businesses succeed, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so the test, like you have like the overall cloud of like, hey, when I work with Andrew and I do
Mhm.
his things, my small business has succeeded. Right. Now we're looking at this from another level to like then get the testimonials and case studies of people that said, I was responsible for making sure I had hundreds of small businesses all succeed at the same time by having access to this framework and the reporting and da. Like we were able to see along the way how where each one was, and like you're looking for those kinds of stories now. Am I getting that right? Or let me know if that's if I'm
I mean,
thinking
I
of that.
think that's right.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't, I work with a lot, over 1,000 businesses, but I
Yeah.
can't, there's no way I could market and get 100, 1,000 businesses on my own.
Yeah.
So, I've been a subject matter expert, coach, consultant, trainer for most of the significant organizations. I've worked with SCORE, I've worked with small business development centers, I've
Yeah.
worked
Okay.
with universities. So also I've seen at least 10 different programs and know the
Yeah.
pluses and minuses uh,
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Um,
How are
so
your relationships with those organizations?
have good relationships,
Okay.
um, but it's still, some of them can't really recommend anything
Mm.
based on, being government related
Mm.
or whatever.
Okay.
And, also some of them, I worked within their framework. So I don't see them endorsing my framework
Got you.
because they
I
have
got
their
you.
own framework. So that's basically saying that, well, we're doing this, but this is better, but we're not doing it.
I get it. I get it. Okay. So let's play with this here. What I want to do, Andrew, is just check in because we got a chance to talk for a bit. And like my thing here is like you know your world more than me. I'm not here to solve things for you, right? What I'm here to do is help you see your things from different perspectives, to challenge some of your thinking, to help elevate or deepen the way that you're looking at things. So let me pause before I actually accidentally get into like driving to success, like to a specific result. That's not what you need here, right? So tell me, Andrew, what have been like one or two big of the insights you've gotten from this experience so far?
I mean, definitely go bigger um, and higher in terms of um, who to target. Um, definitely I think that um, focusing more on the institute, or the biggest opportunity is really with the institutions, and that I should probably attack it more aggressively than I was leaning towards coming here.
Like all these things will just keep flowing. I think like there's no right or wrong with this stuff, which is what I love. In the
Right.
sense that but for people who play as big of a game as you, like it's like how do we continue to challenge the thinking to help you see it from a different perspective, right? I'm gonna go here with one more perspective before we wrap for today, and it's what I would like to do out of now is leave the strategy world, right? Because like again, like you're strategically, you got a lot of things, right? And so I want to leave that for a bit. And you said something early in our conversation that like was that stuck with me. I wrote it down. I said uh, businesses can only grow to the level they are prepared to lead it. Businesses can only grow to the level they are prepared to lead it. And so now I want to come and check in on the level you are prepared to lead like this thing here. All right. So if we looked at you, Andrew, right now from like who you're being, like so the like almost like the strategy is an external thing, and now there's an element of like who are you being as the leader of this that I want to be spending some time on. Are you good with that?
Sounds good.
All
Sounds
right, cool. So tell me about like for what level are you prepared to lead currently, like help me see what is that level, and then for what you're looking to do if there is a gap, what like tell me about the gap from your own leadership and your preparedness to lead.
okay. Well, I mean, I was able to create the framework because I've had been in my own business roles in each of the five steps, been working for other businesses in each of the five steps, and helped businesses go through, guided them through the five steps. And I think that, developed amazing leadership capabilities, serving as a U.S. naval officer and running the business functions for a ship. I have my undergrad in mechanical engineering from MIT, so very analytical. I have an MBA in finance and management. I've been an executive, so I can communicate. I've presented to boards. I've been on boards. So, I think that, I can interact and communicate with the people that I need to. And,
Yes.
my background and credibility is, very strong.
Yes.
I think that, probably need more to be more aggressive and more courageous about getting those opportunities
Mm.
and creating more visibility around what I'm doing. Um,
Mm.
you know, um, introverted. So my first thing isn't, being out there, and, used to, I like building, building it,
Yeah.
so, my first instinct is to make it better and work on it. But, I, at the end of the day, the success is going to be based on, how you market it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So developing those skills in a better way.
Okay. I feel you. Right before you said the introvert, I could see like you're like, all right, so here goes the thing. Like part of me is gonna have to get out there in a different way. So I heard when you said visibility. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I wrote it up. So like
Yeah,
there's the okay.
good.
So when you said visibility, it took me back to like something like you're talking about earlier with like the influencers and all this stuff here. So like what is like let's play a bit in this space here. We might be good because you're like, nah, in terms of preparing to lead this, like I'm generally there, except that like I have to like there's a new level of me having to be out there that I don't know if I want to do, and like in which case I'm like, all right, we can play with that a little bit, not to try and change you, but to say like, all right, what works for you, Andrew? But like, let's see if there's like, help me see. There's something in the visibility, the out there, like the introvert like element that I'm like, there might be something here that would be worth at least discussing before we wrap for today.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that um, being prepared and more comfortable, you know, in the front
Mhm.
line and in the lights and you know, I think that's one of my hesitations. Um, and I always try and make things better and
Yeah.
have so I think that those are the biggest things.
A question's coming to me right now, Andrew. And like I like to ask like this is the simple question sometimes. So like
Okay.
forgive me on that one, but it's just like does it need to be you that's up in front?
That's a great point, and I don't think it does,
Hmm.
but I have to find the right partner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's something I've thought about as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm very clear that I'm not going to have anything that you haven't thought about. Like, like that one I know.
well,
Like, I'm like, all right, check. Like, that's good. If that's something he's thought about, then that means we're actually on the right place here. But like, tell me more. Tell me more.
um, well, I mean, I've thought about this and been working on this for years. You
Yes.
know, I mean, I just finalized the assessment last
Hmm.
year,
Nice.
so and AI has allowed me to really
Oh yeah.
build it out into what I envisioned and make it even better than what I envisioned.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so I think, definitely utilizing, utilizing that and working on a larger scale
Yeah.
and really focusing more on the larger scale and maybe selling and marketing more. Actually, what I talk to my business owners about.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's like it's like as you're saying this, like it's starting to dawn on me, like the amount of eyes that's in here. Like I'm like you're taking on a big thing. That's like that. Like I'm like it actually feels like it's like squarely on your shoulders, right?
Mhm.
You know, like I feel that in a different in like from a pretty heavy perspective there. What do you make of that when I say that?
Um, yeah, I would say, it definitely is on my, I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Um, I think I do need to um, find find the right if I find the right partners, like even
Yeah.
just an organization that loves it.
Yeah.
I think that that would go a long way.
Yeah. I think we might be there for today's conversation, but like there's even just the idea of them as partners to me, like I feel like a lifting that's taking place in here because like yeah, everything right now. I'm like, I didn't see it before, but it was like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is all about like, how does Andrew have to go through every single point? It's like, okay, I've thought about this, I've built this. How do I help them understand with the thing that I've built? Okay, now I have to go over here. All right, and I've thought about this. Like, there's so many different places where every single thing is just like, all right, what does Andrew need to do? And
Mhm.
even even if it's the same exact thing as like getting a client, but now they are partners for you, like I feel better about that for you because it's like, all right, now there's someone else in this thing that's also holding this up with you, you
Mhm.
know? And so like, so there's something that I'm gonna invite you to just spend some time with, which would be like, I heard this. I need to go get this guy's name. I was at a wedding and he talked about he's his name's Ryan. He's a DJ. I didn't get his last name, but he talked about the difference, the change that happened for him once he stopped saying "How do I," and it changed to "How do we."
Mhm.
Right. And right now, I'm talking to you. I'm like, oh, there's a like in terms of the leadership side of things here, I feel a lot of how do I, which is great ownership, so on and so forth. And I think there's a part of me that's looking at this and being like, all right, where's the we in this that can like open the doors that Andrew like that you would have to go back and like learn all over again. as opposed
Hmm.
to being able to be like, all right, he gets to stay in his zone of genius, like, and like the partnerships he has open up the doors for him on the other side of things. All right. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna I think we're in a good place to wrap here, Andrew. Let me check in with you. Like what's been one of your bigger insights for the conversation overall? That's how I like to end, and then we'll close out with outliers.
I mean, I think that what you raised there is, I could have more of a team or more partnership or more support around what we're doing. And, I've had support, on creation, but not really on the larger scale of making it the framework. Made me think of a few people that I may know that could do entrees because they're already interacting with some of those organizations, and I just need to be more proactive about getting on the calendars of some people that and making sure that they take a minute to understand what we really have.
Nice. Andrew, like I really just want to say, like, firstly, I think what you're building is really awesome. And I'm glad you're doing it. You're like, and just hearing your background, hearing the things you've done, like you're the exact right person for it. You're the exact right person for it. So like I am thrilled that you're going about it and that you're continuously finding new ways to see opportunities, see new insights, see new ways to help people. Cause as a small business owner myself, I'm like, thank you. Like thank you. And so I want to make sure that I state this. I also want to say thanks for coming in here with an openness, with we were smiling, we were laughing throughout here. Like so, like the thing is outrageous, edgy, and fun. Those are the three words that guide me in every single
Mhm.
conversation right now. All right, and so thanks for playing in all three of them here today. All right. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do here, I'll say goodbye to outliers here. Outliers until the next time we talk. Be you on purpose. Journey on.